Hello, I'm Tim Euler, Director of Architecture here at Swimage. Today, we're going to give an overview and brief tour of the Swimage Portal. Using the portal, you have access to control the wide range of Swimage tools, allowing you to easily view, monitor, and manage all of your assets, including the PC health, compliance, and software inventory from an executive-level overview down to the details of a specific PC. With Compliance Enforcer, you can create and enforce compliance rules, alerts, and actions, as well as apply configurations and application rules to the enterprise. The portal gives you the ability to take action on any PC issue by pushing actions or configuring automated rules to proactively maintain compliance. Of course, we can deploy PC with Swimage's patented automated processes by any number of methods, including zero-touch, scheduled, or even conditionally triggered through the portal. You can mass provision your devices for deployment, easily scaling out for migrations or upgrade projects. And we can monitor all of these active deployments live. Let's start by going into the dashboard where I've already securely logged in. The dashboard is the starting page for the portal, providing a high-level overview of the systems in your organization. The PC health graph shows the health status based on the configured items in the organization has chosen to use as a baseline. This can include items like low drive space, software installed, or RAM, CPU, or hardware issues. Compliance status of the systems based on the rules configured by the organization, such as antivirus software installation, patching levels, or malware detection. Attune readiness reflects the Attune remote support infrastructure that enables support for the remote, hard-to-reach systems. The Attune readiness chart lets us know if we have any issues to address with that support. And daily and monthly deployments show us deployment counts over time, daily or monthly respectively. The top-level graphs are sortable by groupings based on location, model, OS, and all systems. Moving through these, we can see how the asset status is distributed based on these different categories. Okay, let's take a look at the deployments page. On the deployments page, we have a number of graphs and statistics that will give you insight into current deployments that are going on. Here we have our current deployment phases, which explains where in the deployment process all of the machines are. So whether they're dropping the OS or restoring data or any of the other phases that we have for the deployment, as well as how many are currently going on at any given time. The active deployments are another graph that can be broken into the groupings like location, model, OS, so on, just to give you a general idea based on those groupings where we're at in the deployment, and then general deployment statistics, including completed deployments all time, as well as down here we have the individual machines where we can actually see specifically for a machine where it's at. You can look those machines up if you're trying to find that information using the standard filters that we have. Moving on to the next tab, this is our Assets tab. The Assets tab provides an overview of the managed system status to ensure your system environment remains compliant and healthy, as well as PC-specific data and tools to manage those PCs directly from the portal. The graphics provided on this page include the health summary, which is a graphical view of the overall health, compliance, and deployment status of the systems. Then there's the PC health graph, which is a sortable view of the health status of the systems, and the compliance graph, which is a sortable view of the compliance status of all your systems. Both of these can be grouped based on location, model, OS, or all categories. The key feature of this page is the asset information, which displays a summary information of the individual systems. All of these may be filtered in different ways to get the information you need. Let's take a look. The quickest of these filters is the click filter. So say we wanted to get to see what machines have compliance warnings in Naperville. So I click on compliance and you'll see how it breaks it all down to just the machines that have compliance issues. Then if I click on Naperville with the compliance issue, you'll see that I now have just those machines that are from Naperville with that compliance issue. I can also then switch to an OS to see if there's a specific OS that's having compliance issues, and again break that down by that. Okay, let's clear that. We'll switch it back to location. And let's talk about the actual filters tool. So the filters tool is a standard set of tools that allow us to break it into a far more specific location or far more specific filter criteria. So for instance, if I wanted to look up systems with a certain name, we can apply a filter for that, and you see it quickly breaks it down into that category so that we can actually see specific machines if I'm looking for anything specific. Again, we can just clear those filters and start from scratch. And then finally, we just have the straight search. So say I'm looking for those same machines. This will actually apply the whatever you type into here across these categories that you see on the screen. To give us the same information as what we looked for before. Once we use the filters to get ourselves down to the machines we're looking for, we can open one up and get ourselves more detailed system information. As you can see, we have a machine name, serial number, the statuses of that machine. We can look at the applications that are installed on that machine. We can look at hardware to see what the machine is made out of, including some small quick actions here. For more complex tasks, we can go to the Actions tab. And in here, we can see that there's a number of different categories that we can apply different actions to the machine with. We can set up backup and recovery, deployments like a reimage or setting it up for a new machine. We can do software installations. We can run maintenance tasks. We can run anything you can script can be pushed from the portal down to a machine to be able to be run for system maintenance. Any of these actions can be run now, or we can schedule them for a later date. Once you press assign, they go down to the machine, and the action takes place on the machine. Next up, we have collections. Now, collections are groups of machines that we want to use to apply actions, apply rules, or anything else we want to do to more than one system. Systems can be grouped together dynamically, which would be based on a rule or some specific query that we've created to break it down in a few machines that we want. Or we can have static collections where we specifically apply machines to a collection, and then those are the only ones in that collection. There's also the hybrid dynamic collection that would actually have static machines in it specifically added. Now, the Configuration tab allows us to define triggers and actions and to combine them to create rules that can be applied to systems for compliance purposes. Rules are the combination of triggers and actions. For an example, if the software is not up to date, then run a patch, something along those lines. The trigger is what monitors the activity or the state of the PC, and then when the conditions activate a trigger, a predefined rule will run an action. For example, patching status, drive space, registry keys, and WI information. Now, the actions themselves are the desired activities or processes run as the result of the trigger being activated. So examples of these would be to install patches, run a custom script, lock the PC, etc. All right? Also, we have alerts, which are a type of action that notify when a trigger has occurred. Like the drive space on this machine is lower than 35 gig, something specific like that. When you then take one of these rules, which again are the combination of the trigger and the action, and we can apply those to one of those collections. Then all the machines in that collection will scan for that trigger, and if it ever ends up being triggered, it'll then apply that action. And finally, there's a software page. Software page is simply a breakdown of the software that's installed in your environment. We have some specific application that we want to look up. We can search for the application using our standard search, and we will then get a list of the machines that have that application installed. The admin is just the control for the users and groups that have access to the portal in itself. So as you can see, the dashboard is a pretty comprehensive overview and functional tool for your environment. For more information on the portal or anything else in regards to Swimage, please visit us at swimage.com. Thanks for listening.